Hey everybody, following up on something, and in between my therapy trips and trips to the surgeon's office and my medicated naps, I have these moments of clarity, and as I play catch up in life and try to get all things in order, today I was asked to speak to a team before their game tonight, and I said yes, because if somebody thinks enough of what I have to say to ask me to speak to their people and to give their people to me, then the answer is yes, and I'll figure out a way. And I said, well, I'm not on top of my game, but I'll do my best. And jokingly, I told him, I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to try to set it on fire. And he said, I got water, so let's go. After 15 minutes in a room full of teenage young men, I demanded that they love each other. And not just in that corny kind of way. What I wanted them to do was be aware of why they were there and the fact that they had family, they had brotherhood, they had people that trusted them to do the right thing, and that they trusted to do the right thing, and in the end, they had to be there for each other more than themselves. And I have a rule when I speak to a group that everybody hugs when I'm done. That's a simple thing, because if we're connected, we can accomplish whatever we want to accomplish, but disconnected, we can't do anything. Now, if we're going to meet and be collective on some idea and some purpose, some direction, then in order to finish right, we must start right. So I always say, in order to finish together, we got to start together. And in this group of young people, there was a wave of maturity that happened because they accepted. Because not all groups of young people want to hear you tell them how great they're going to be and what the expectations are and what the rules of life are. And when somebody gives you their young people, I think it's our responsibility to give them something. And not just basic business. I'm talking about give them something to march with, give them something they can put in their heart and take with them. And most of the time when I talk to groups, I don't know what I'm going to say. That's a simple truth. But I go in the room and I'm present. I am present. I see who's in the room. I pay attention to the energy of the room. I can tell who's running the room. I know who the so-called alphas are, and I need to get them in place. And I know who the other dudes are who think they're an alpha, but they're not. And they don't know what they are until they see what they aren't. But in this particular group, some 55 young people got up when they were done. They applauded. We hugged. We gave high fives, and they hugged each other, which is the win. Which is the win. See, whoever their opponents were tonight, they didn't have a chance. Why? Because they recognized why they were there and what they were going to do. And, you tried to explain to the parents that were in the room. There were probably 70, 75 parents there. And to talk to the parents after I talked to the players. But once I talked to the players, the parents understood. You see, if you don't know why you're there, if you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it, you cannot be successful at it. And if you think for one hot minute that you're here to win football games or basketball games or baseball games, you're missing the boat. If you think you're here to get a 4.0, you're missing the boat. That's not why we're here. That is not why we are here. And so after the players left the room, and the room was full of love, we had created a vacuum of love. And after they left, the parents held forward and they needed to know more. So I gave them more and explained to them that they don't understand why their young people were doing what they're doing. Ask. If they hadn't told them that while it's great for the coaches to be there and teach you how to run a post pattern or how to set your hands for a block or work on your rip move, that's not important. I hate to tell you, coaches, if that's what you think you were there for, you have missed it and you need to give your money back. You are there to add to. You are there to use the vehicle, whatever that sport is, use the vehicle to give these people all of the strength and love that they're going to need to get through the rest of their life until they figure out what their life is for. See, when I coach, I don't talk about winning. Winning is just a residue of a group of guys caring enough about themselves and each other to do the thing at a level that they find out that they can. But I don't think anybody that plays for me talks about the games won. I think the guys that play for me think of Coach DP cared. Coach DP cared enough. He loved me enough to tell me the things I needed to know rather than the things that I wanted to know. Coaches, that's why we in this. Wins and losses, look, it's great. That's ego. I appreciate that. But even with a state title, if you didn't love your dudes and you didn't give them the weapons to get out the door when they're done, because see, that's not why they're here either. You must give them more than that. And so, as I said, I planned to set a room on fire, and then I set that room on fire again with the parents, letting them know that the job is to love. That's why you're there. You're not there as a carrier. You're not there as a librarian. You're not there as a Google. You're not there as a maid. You're not there as a cook. You're there to love. And whatever that means. And if all those things fall under that, then cool. But you better build a human with some emotional IQ. See, that ABC IQ, that 4.0 IQ is great. It's grand, but it's not why we're here. It's not, because a whole lot of 4.0 folks can't handle life because you haven't given them the tools to get through, to figure out how to get through, how to get by, how to love themselves, and then everybody else. So that's where we were in a conversation about football, about academics, about home, about community. Ultimately, the conversation is about love. Yes, it is. And if you don't understand that that's why you're here, that's why you get up in the morning, that's why you put in the hours, that's why you care about the people around you and to make sure that everything in their life is everything that you can make it. But ultimately, it's about finding the best version of you, therefore allowing other people to find the best versions of them. Work on your heart, and everything else works from that. Start from your heart. Start from love. And whether you're parenting, coaching, playing, teaching, learning, guiding, mentoring, let it be from that. I promise you, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes better. Everything becomes grander after that. Now, I need to go be a good patient and go back to sleep. But take this with you. Figure out why you're here and do that with the most love that you can muster in the greatest, grandest way possible. Coaches, that's the challenge. Parents, that's the challenge. Athletes, that's the challenge. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. I'm going to bed. Boom!